Joining me now for more senior national policy correspondent Anne Flaherty, also Dr. Peter Hotez, the co-director of the Texas Children's Hospital Center for Vaccine Development. And let's start with you and just talk about this debate. It's been going on ever since the pandemic began. So what exactly do we know about this Energy Department report and the assessment that's out there now?
Two things. From 2021, the intelligence community came to a determination that they do think that this virus was a natural-born virus, that it jumped somehow from an animal to a human. That hasn't changed. The question is whether or not it leaked from a lab or not, if it occurred in natural surroundings. So none of that has changed. What has changed is there appears to be a new piece of intelligence that when the Energy Department looked at it, they thought, well, we suspect that it comes from a lab leak. Other agencies haven't come to that conclusion. So nothing really changing here, but just a little piece of new evidence that got leaked to the media, possibly for political reasons.
And Dr. Hotez, how exactly do the three prevailing theories work? The lab leak, natural origin, or natural origin that leaked from a lab? Just can you kind of break that down for us?
Yeah, I mean, overall, the overwhelming evidence supports natural origins. Remember, all of the initial COVID-19 cases appear to have come from the same wet market in Wuhan, and probably came about through the virus jumping from animals to humans twice within a week from those wet markets, whether the intermediate animal host was a raccoon dog or some other animal. So the point is, if this were from a lab leak out of the Wuhan Institute, which is about 10 kilometers away and on the other side of the river, you would have seen cases pop up all over Wuhan and in central China. And you don't see that. You see an initial cluster of cases around the wet market. And there's two very strong papers published in Science magazine, which is one of the top scientific journals, are articulating that. So I don't know how the Energy Department came to that conclusion. I will say that the Energy Department's findings are at variance from most of the other intelligence agencies that support the scientific theory that's published in Science magazine of the natural origins. So, unless the Energy Department is sitting on some very unique intelligence data that says otherwise, and I doubt it, given the fact that they said low probability, I think there is, I don't want to say consensus, but there's an overwhelming feeling in the scientific community regarding the natural origins of COVID-19, just like severe acute respiratory syndrome in 2002, SARS that arose out of southern China, which is a coronavirus, just like Middle Eastern respiratory syndrome on the Arabian Peninsula in 2012. This is happening yet again. And by the way, it's likely to happen a fourth time before the end of this decade, unless we really understand at a granular level how these viruses are jumping from bats to people. So I object to all the lab leak and conspiracies, because it just takes away from really uncovering the true origins at a very granular level.
Well, and of course, everybody still wants to know the absolute truth. And Anne, House Republicans launching their own investigation into the origins of COVID-19 as well. What kind of political implications do you think this could have, and the status of this investigation?
Right. Well, they're not letting this go. So we saw several House Republicans tweeting over the weekend that they were right all along. China is to blame, and the U.S. government is hiding the truth behind the COVID virus. Of course, that's not entirely the entire story. We know that this could possibly be a lab leak, but as Dr. Hotez laid out, we're not seeing any evidence that this was somehow weaponized or developed by the Chinese government. The IC said, the intelligence community said they saw no evidence of that. So we do expect to see more hearings down the road later this month. There's a hearing tomorrow on COVID itself, a separate one on China. But this comes at a really tense time of U.S.-Chinese relations. We're talking about, is China going to contribute weapons to Russia? So certainly not a good time, not ideal to be talking about China contributing to this problem.
All right. Anne, Dr. Hotez, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.